In this video, we're going to create a test for the PHPStan custom rule that we created in the previous video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to store all of our tests. You can put your tests wherever you like, but I'm going to put them under build in the build slash PHPStan slash tests folder. So let's go and make that now. Create a new directory called tests. And then what we need to do is we need to let PHP unit know about these tests. So what I'm actually going to do is create a test suite called, the test suite's going to be called PHPStan. So we can go into our PHP unit.xml, look for the test suite section. So we've already got a test suite for just all our normal tests. And then we can put our PHPStan test suite here. And the reason you might want to do that is because just when you're developing PHPStan only tests, we only need to run those tests. We don't need to run all of our other tests. So let's go and create ourselves a directory here. I think we actually called it don't use print rule. And then within there, we're going to add our PHPStan rule test case for it. So don't use print rule test. So these are going to actually extend something called rule test case, which is provided by PHPStan. It's its own little test harness. And we need to provide an implementation for the get rule method. And this is where we're returning the rule that we want to test. So in this case, we're just going to return the don't use print rule, which is what we made in the previous video. Under tests, we're going to have a directory specific to the rule. And then within there, we're going to have a fixtures directory. And we'll see in a later video why we structure things in this way. So for now, I'm just going to create a file. Let's call it print.php, and so this is our little stub, which has got some code in that we want our new PHPStan rule to tell us that we can't use. So we're now going to create an actual test. We'll call it test rule, and we're going to use the analyze method provided by the rule test case class. And what the analyze method does, the first parameter is a list of fixtures that we want to analyze, or list of files that we want to analyze. What this does is it loads, it will load in the fixtures print file just for the test to analyze. And then the next thing we need to do is to supply a list of issues that we expect to find. So potentially our test will find multiple. So again, it's an array, and then each element in the array is the message that we expect to find and the rule, the line number where we expect that rule to be. So we're going to use this rule here. We're going to analyze only this file, and our expectation is on line 3, we're going to have an error, which is don't use print. What we can do is, rather than just running every single test, we can just use our test suite, our PHPStan test suites. So we're going to run that. It's actually found a problem. Oh yeah, we're expecting on line 3, I said don't use print ? But actually it's got don't use print with the apostrophe. So let me go and just change my test. Make those, oops. So we're actually expecting don't use print. Let's try again. There we go. It's okay, there were no issues there. So what we've done is we have created a test suite using the PHPStan rule test case. In here, we say we have to provide an implementation for get rule, where we say which rule that we want to test. And then we can have any number of test cases. And the test cases normally reference some kind of fixture file. For example, here we've done fixtures print.php. And then we just say, what are the issues we expect the test to find when we run it. What I'd actually recommend you do, and we're going to start doing in future, is we think about the test cases first before we create the rules. So from this step, from the video going forward, our starting point will be our tests. But before we jump onto the next video, why don't you have a go at creating your own rules, go through the process we've just been through, create a test snippet, create your own rule, and the first one you can create is one that disallows calls compact, and then see if you can, for your second one, have a go at writing a rule that disallows the usage of $_get. So give those a go and then join me in the next video where we look at adding static analysis to our custom PHPStan rules.